Let me share something slightly uncomfortable. In prison studies, when inmates were asked how they choose their victims, many of them said they looked for people who appeared unsure, distracted, or unaware of what's happening around them. They were not always looking for the weakest person, they were looking for someone who would not notice danger until it was too late. Now, here is the uncomfortable question. Do you know what scammers often look for online? Sometimes it's just one simple signal or behavior. A sentence like, I cannot understand this. I cannot understand technology. I cannot do this. It is too complicated. Now, before we go any further, let me say something clearly. This is a judgment free video. I'm not here to judge anyone. This is not about intelligence. This is simply about understanding what scammers look for. Because when someone believes they cannot understand something, something important happens. They stop trying. And when someone stops trying to understand what is happening in front of them, that is the moment criminals take advantage of the situation. Scammers look for signals or behaviors of vulnerability. In the physical world, that might be body language, confidence, situational awareness, and online, the signals are different, but the idea is the same. Scammers exploit situations where people feel overwhelmed by technology. And because when someone decides they cannot understand something, they mentally withdraw from the situation. They stop questioning what they are seeing. And that creates an opportunity for criminals. But here is the important part. Cybersecurity actually involves two groups of people. On one side are cybersecurity professionals, engineers, researchers, and specialists who spend their careers building secure systems. They design things like encryption, authentication systems, and layered security protections that most of us often never even notice. Their job is to make technology safer and less complicated for everyone else. And they work very hard to make sure that most people do not need to understand how the internet works in order to use it safely. But there is another side to cybersecurity. That side is human behavior. Because no matter how good the technology is, people still have to make decisions. Decisions like, should I click this link? Should I trust this message? Should I enter my information here? That is where the human firewall method comes in. It does not replace cybersecurity professionals, it complements their work. They build the systems, we make the decisions, and when both sides work together, the digital world becomes much safer. Examples: people already interact with complex systems every day without understanding how those systems actually work. I'll give you a few examples. These are things people use every day, including me, without really questioning why they work, how they work. We just use it. Example, think about a microwave. Most people use a microwave almost every day. But how many of us actually understand how a microwave works? I certainly do not. I do not understand the electronics inside it. I do not understand the physics behind it. But yet I use it perfectly well. Why? Because I do not need to master the technology. I just need to know how to use it safely. For example, I know not to put a metal spoon or fork inside the microwave. And honestly, that is already good enough. Or think about elevators. Millions of people use elevators every day. But let me ask you something. Do you understand the engineering behind elevators? The cables, the safety systems, the control mechanisms? I certainly do not. I just know which button to press and know how to use the elevator safely. For example, not trying to force the doors open while the elevator is moving. That tends to end badly. Or think about even more ordinary things like the toilet. I use the toilet every day, but I do not understand plumbing systems. I do not understand pressure valves. I do not understand drainage systems. I just know one thing. I press the handle and the problem disappears. That is good enough for me. And the internet works the same way. Billions of people use the internet every day. But how many people actually understand the servers, networks, and systems that move information around the world? Very few. Using something safely does not require mastering the technology behind it. Cybersecurity for everyday people works the same way. You do not need to understand the engineering behind the internet. You only need a few reliable habits that help you navigate it safely. And that is exactly why the human firewall method exists. The human firewall method is not about technical knowledge. It's about decision habits. Habits like recognizing scam patterns, slowing down when something feels rushed, checking before clicking a link, verifying information independently, and sometimes simply doing nothing when there is no good decision to make. So, the real change begins with something very simple. Instead of saying, I cannot understand this, try saying, let's try. Because cybersecurity for everyday people is not about mastering complicated technology. It's about learning a few simple habits that help you recognize risky situations and slow them down. And the truth is, you've been doing this your entire life. You are already capable of it. Think about something simple like crossing the road. Before you cross, you look right, left, and then you look right again. Whether it's a junction or a zebra crossing, you check before you move. Why? Because the road is dangerous. Cars are still there, the risk still exists. But you learn habits that make the situation more manageable. You learn how to manage the risk, and you have already done it successfully your entire life. The only difference is just that now we are applying those same habits to the digital world. What you learn from road safety can be applied to cyber safety. These are not new ideas. Armies use them, aviation uses them, medical professions use them. They are simple habits designed to reduce mistakes in risky environments. They are low tech. They are easy to understand. The only real question is whether someone is willing to try before deciding it is impossible. So the next time you find yourself saying, I cannot do this, it is too hard, maybe change the answer to let's try. Because sometimes the people who are willing to try something new discover that the digital world does not become only safer, but also far more interesting. Technology will continue to evolve, new scams will appear, new platforms will emerge, but good habits remain useful no matter how the digital world changes, and that is exactly what the human firewall method is designed to teach. Remember, you do not need to have tech skills to stay safe. You just need good habits. So share this with the people you care about, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.